¿Qué onda, chavalos? ¿Cómo están? Hoy vamos a ver el broadcast en español. Vamos a ver la información del nuevo DLC, fechas de lanzamiento y sobre todo el aniversario de Dead by Daylight. Vamos a ver y vamos a comenzar. Échese la intro, maestro. Ya lo tengo. ¿Se escucha o no se escucha? Me avisa. Creo que así está mejor. Creo que está muy saturado, ¿eh?
Wow.
Hey,
We're here.
good. We're back.
We're back.
We're
We're
back.
here. We're live in Montreal. We're live in our studio, in our brand new studio. In the studio.
New studio. Who this?
Who
right?
dat?
Look at that palette.
That is a palette. That is also a coffee table.
It's got coasters.
You know, you recognize this, but also not a picture frame. That is actually a video screen. We're not going to make use of it today because we literally just got it installed. Streams in the future. We're going to be having a lot of fun with a lot of these. They look like static picture frames, but really excited for us to have this as a resource here in our own studio in Montreal so we can do more stuff here, including videos that you do all the time, interviews, whatever. So yes, hello, welcome. There are a lot of you out there. Thank you for joining us. This is actually our second live stream of the month of May. Earlier, we were at PAX East in Boston, where also a bunch of people showed up in person, which was an incredible delight to meet so many people I only knew as online names, and to ham it up in front of a live audience was pretty fun. So we just wanted to say thank you for that. That was our first big live event in a long time, and y'all showed up. So hopefully that means we can do more. And the only negative of that event, we were not joined by Dork.
Yes.
Due to visa issues.
Yeah, it was really sad to be watching from the sidelines, but the hype in that room was electric. So, like, even being at home, but just rooting you guys, that was just amazing. So I truly hope that maybe in the future I'll be able to meet you guys in person. But for now, let's get into today's live stream, which we're talking about part 2 of our anniversary live stream with the
Por cierto, la primera parte está en el canal.
official live stream. And today, especially at PAX, you guys got a little taste about what was coming with this chapter, but now we're going to be talking about the map, the new gameplay.
Y vamos a adelantarle
Anniversary event, which is right around
para ver el Roses.
parade.
Ok, va a comenzar el show jugando con Springtrap, la final del Twisted Mascarada, las colecciones que van a venir y la creación de programa. Y preguntas y respuestas, ya saben, la sección final.
Which is going to be Hollis from the product team, who's going to be running through the latest collections that'll be rolling into the fog.
Ok, creo que es la Fengming.
Eric and I will be back on the couch to talk about the Dead by Daylight Creator Program, which I know a lot of our content creators out there are at the edge of their seats waiting to hear news about, so stay tuned.
And we also have another thing to share with
Ojalá me seleccionen, ¿eh? No creo. Uy, se oye bien saturado, ¿eh? Perdónenme. Creo que ya se oye mejor. Sí, ya.
cool new Dead by Daylight stats tracker that's coming up. We're going to be able to look at your in-game stats and progress as you play, which is really neat.
Yes, I cannot wait to see how many times I've died. After that, well, obviously, it's going to be, wouldn't be a Dead by
Ok, le voy a adelantar un poquito.
Twitch drops.
Ok. Va a haber nuevos Twitch drops. No me gusta, pero bueno. Ahí está. Pues está joya la música, aunque espero que no tenga copyright, ¿eh? Nada más eso, ¿eh?
Whoa.
Ok, aquí está el...
Waiting for Jay to tell us when we're ready, but we're live. See, we told you it's live. You didn't believe us. Okay, so
Ya lo sé, brother.
from the time that we announced that Five Nights at Freddy's was coming to Dead by Daylight, obviously the excitement has been off the charts for Five Nights at Freddy's fans, for DBD fans, for myself, maybe you, and people are speculating. Who's the killer going to be? Are we going to get a map, et cetera, et cetera? We answered those things in a high-level way at PAX a few weeks ago. Indeed, we will have a killer, Springtrap, for the first time ever, you get to play as Springtrap instead of be terrorized by Springtrap. Well, if you're a survivor, you'll still be terrorized. And also, we'll be bringing a new map. So Jay has come here to join us.
Marga Incorosa. Estoy 100% seguro que va a ser ese mapa.
Chucky and also Dracula. Jay is the killer designer.
Ok, grande, Grande este brother.
So, how are you doing?
Tremendos killers, a excepción de Chucky con el nerfeo,
So let's get into it. So as I mentioned, you worked on some pretty iconic licenses already. So when you were assigned Five Nights at Freddy's, what was it like when you first started working on that chapter?
It was really interesting. I didn't have a lot of experience with it. Excuse me, my throats are a little dry today. I was obviously aware of it. I mean, everybody is. It's become so iconic in such a short period of time. But I'm going to be honest, I didn't really realize how kind of deep the lore and the story went before I started kind of looking into this chapter. So it's been cool, and like the story is.
Se ve desvelado el brother, Anda como yo.
Despite how cute it is, very horrifying. And actually, I think that's a very initial common ground DBD fans and FNAF fans will have. Deep lore on both games, much more than you'd expect. And once you dig in, it's really cool stuff, and it goes, like you said, it goes places.
Yeah.
So I guess the way you mentioned it, sounds like you had to do a lot of research to get up to speed.
Yeah, for sure. You know, one of my favorite things about doing licenses like this is they give me an excuse, I guess, a reason to become like a real big nerd about one specific franchise or IP, and that's always amazing. You know, Chucky, I got to watch all the movie.
Y investiga todas esas cosas.
Very passionate fans.
Vamos a adelantarle un poco.
Good luck today. So we,
Mira, le dio su hijo un peluche.
So before we jump into the gameplay, why don't you tell us about how you started to approach the design of Springtrap?
Yeah, it was a really interesting one because obviously, if you know both games, gameplay-wise, they're pretty diametrically opposed. Five Nights at Freddy's is really about sitting still. You manage resources, particularly the battery, and try not to get killed. Whereas DBD is all about moving around, doing the gens. If you sit still, you're gonna get yourself
Not a
killed.
good strategy.
It's not a great idea. So it really became about kind of nailing down what the quintessential Five Nights at Freddy's experience is. Things like the security office, the battery power, all those amazing jump scares,
Yes.
and just kind of figuring out how to adapt that into the context of DBD.
Perfect. So with that transition, let's get
El contexto del DVD.
and his gameplay.
Yeah, so
Me encanta cómo traduce DVD esta cosa.
to figure out how to lean into those jump scares. Trap has two weapons. I get to finally announce. I know the community have been talking about it. So he has a large pizza knife as his main weapon, and a heavy fire axe as his power.
Oh, the fire axe. So let's talk about the axe. How do you use the axe? How's it different from projectiles that other characters in Dead by Daylight use?
Yeah, so it's a very unique. It's not going to play like any other projectile killer that you've tried before. We wanted to do something a little bit interesting with it. So if you throw the axe and it hits something in the environment, whether it's a missed shot or it's deliberate, it creates an AoE that lasts about 15 seconds. And if a survivor walks through,
Ok, está bien.
killer instinct on them for a short period of time. If you hit a survivor with it, kind of gets lodged in their back while you're chasing.
Kind of have an axe lodged in your back.
Just a
No
little
big
bit.
deal.
So they can remove it manually, or they can do it quicker in co-op with another survivor. As Springtrap, you can also retrieve it yourself if you get in close. You can skip kind of the steps of downing the survivor and picking them up. You get in close to a survivor that has the axe embedded in them. You click the button, you grab the axe and the survivor at the same time. You get a cool little jump scare, and then you're carrying them on your shoulder. A couple.
Oh, eso está interesante.
One of them is while you have your projectile available, you move at 4.4 meters per second. There he is.
There's a little glimpse of some jump scare action.
But once you've thrown the axe, you actually move at 4.6 meters per second. It's something that we've never really done base kit for a killer. It makes for some really interesting tactical choices, meaning that
Ok, te baja 2 milisegundos.
manually, it never comes back to you automatically unless you throw it out of the map because you can make a mistake. But yeah, as long as it's in the environment or in a survivor or whatever it is, you have to manually recall it.
So it lightens his load a little bit, makes him a bit faster.
Exactly.
Perfect. So that brings us to another unique part of his gameplay, and I think super iconic to Five Nights at Freddy's, the security office. So let's get into that.
Yeah. So it was really important for us to give the killer and the survivor a really kind of interesting shared experience in that space, which allowed us to also lean into the jump scares. And some of the ways we came up with was to introduce the security office, which is part of any trial that Springtrap is the killer. It's part of his power, but it acts as kind of...
ok, interesante.
So we have 7 doors that appear randomly around the map at chest spawns, and these can be used by survivors or killers to teleport around the map.
Yeah, there be a door.
O sea, ambos se pueden teletransportar. Oh, vaya.
So as a survivor, you interact with the door. It brings up the camera view. You'll get the kind of iconic map view in the bottom right of all the different cameras.
Ok. O sea, como que stalkear varios lados. Como el juego, básicamente. Está interesante.
If you see something that if it looks safe on the other end, you press the button, your character goes into the security office, and then it's kind of like a hands-off, almost like a theme park experience where you see this first-person view going through the office, which is really
Ok, eso está bien, ¿eh? Bien adaptado ahí, ¿eh?
Regardless of what map you're playing on, this functionality, the security room will be there as long as Springtrap is the killer in the match.
Yeah, exactly. And as a survivor, if you happen to see Springtrap through a camera, if you train your camera on him for a few seconds, he'll be revealed for a little bit for the whole survivor team.
Ok. O sea que medio boss face ahí.
What if Springtrap goes in at the same time as a survivor goes in at a different door and they meet?
Yeah, so since they can both use the doors in the security office, we wanted to make sure that there was an opportunity for that interaction. So if a survivor is moving through that space from one door to the other, and Springtrap, excuse me, chooses one of those 2 doors, whether the one they're coming from or the one they're going to, he'll interrupt them in the security office for a fun little surprise.
Ooh. Awesome. I love all the little touches that the team has planted in there like that. I think the fans are really going to love it, including this. You mentioned the battery. Managing the battery is part of this as well. So how's that work in DBD?
Yeah, so survivors share a universal battery. It's shared amongst all of them. It drains a little bit, kind of ticks down per second while you're using the cameras. We didn't want players to just be the man in the chair and just sitting there and telling all their friends. So it drains a little bit using the teleporter to move around the map. Takes off a big old chunk in one shot.
Ok, eso está muy bien. Que tenga una batería.
But you have to kind of manage when and where you're using it. If the battery does run out, the security system, which is kind of the doors, the cameras, the office, goes into shutdown mode for 45 seconds. But Springtrap is not affected by the battery. So if the survivors have kind of overplayed their hand and they shut the security office down, they've kind of given up their one bit of power in this chapter, and Springtrap can still use the doors and bounce around and do whatever he wants.
Dangerous. Fantastic. But what about disabling the doors?
Yes. So to go back to the axe, if the killer hits either a camera or a door, the whole thing, with their axe, that door and the camera becomes unavailable to survivors. They can't use it to teleport away, they can't teleport to that door, and they can't see through the camera that's been disabled.
Got it.
When the killer retrieves it, that effect lingers a little bit. It becomes a really cool way of like, I need to scope this area out, but I don't want to be revealed or seen. You can disable the door, move around, use it to fake the survivors out.
Got it. But it's not permanent. The door can be used again after the axe has been retrieved.
Cool. Unless it's in shutdown, which means the survivors can't use it anyway.
Right. Cool. Okay.
Ok. Esto ya se vería mejor en in-game, porque no entendí muy bien. Entendí algunas cosas, pero no todo como se implementaría.
Pizza is now a new map, a new level within Dead by Daylight for DBD fans, specifically in the Withered Isle realm. So what can you tell us about the map?
Yeah.
Lo sabía.
So the art team, much like me, they did a ton of research. And like, I don't say this just because we're doing the stream here, but
No sé si es Margaret Corosa, es el Will Red. Deja ver.
in the same way that we worked hard at kind of integrating a lot of opportunities for jump scares into the killer gameplay, their team really wanted to make sure that they did the same when it comes to things like Easter eggs and scares around the map. So it really pays off if you're kind of an exploratory player a little bit.
Amazing. So are there some areas that you want to shout out that Five Nights at Freddy's fans might recognize?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot. You'll see a lot of small references and stuff, but obviously we've recreated a lot of kind of the iconic areas from the game. But we're also letting you exit the pizzeria to explore the outside a little bit, which is really cool. And we wanted to kind of add a little bit more space to allow for more dynamic chases and whatnot.
Yeah.
But for the rooms, we've got the lobby, we've got the dining hall, of course, with the full animatronic band on stage. It's very cool. And we have the arcade.
Ok, va a tener su
All
música.
very kind of creepily decorated like a birthday party. And we have areas like the kitchen and even the mechanical room, which is cool. And
We can see a
there you
little
go,
glimpse
yeah.
right there too.
Yeah, so altogether this should kind of feel like a formerly working pizzeria. And of course, since it's Dead by Daylight, the entity's weird pustules and deformations are everywhere to remind you exactly of where you still are and
You're
where
making a
stuck.
judgment call on those pustules there, Jay.
But if you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, I think you're really going to love the map. They've done a lot of really cool work.
Yeah, it's super fun. And it looks really good too. The art team did knock it out of the park. But also with Springtrap wandering around, it's like a terror. And I think for Five Nights at Freddy's fans, like, whoop, you're going to be in familiar territory.
Yeah.
So one other nice thing that we did mention on the PAX broadcast, but I do want to mention it again, we're going to have a separate queue for this map specifically, which means you want to go to the game and you just want to check out the map. Normally, in the past, you'd be in the general rotation of maps and all that. Now you can go straight in just to the pizzeria without having to hope that you get there. So it's going to be its own queue when you join the game.
Yeah, and that's a feature that's going forward with any chapter with a new map.
Perfect.
You'll have a unique queue for that new map, which is really cool.
Perfect. Okay.
Ok, que ya no se va a poner otro mapa como tal, sino que directamente te va a poner el mapa de la pizzería, por lo que entiendo.
Get used to the arc of the projectile. As I said, it's super unique compared to other projectile killers. We've done something that really allows you to kind of pull off some pretty gnarly trick shots. We've seen some really interesting ones on our internal playtest. It's been super fun. So test that out, get used to it, and take advantage of the jump scares.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're playing with your friends, hearing them shout in your ear is always a great time.
Yes.
But for survivors, take advantage of the cameras and the doors. It may seem a little unsafe because you can be interrupted or whatever, but they're really valuable tools if you get used to them and you use it to reveal the killer and kind of scoping out the area. You'll get more of an advantage out of them than I think you realize at first.
Heck yeah.
But yeah.
Ok, el counter es entrar, por lo que veo. Aunque nada como la vieja confiable sistema de espionaje, ya ves al kill.
Soon enough, people will get to play around with it. I know you're going to be glued to your Twitch screen so you can watch
yes.
people play it, test it out. Thank you so much for joining us. The show must roll on. So next, we're going to bring out our friend Justin Banks to fill you in on DBD's anniversary event that's right around the corner.
Bye, everybody.
Aquí le cortaron la voz medio raro. No sé si tiene gameplay, creo que no, ¿eh? A ver. Uy, el final de la mascarada. Esto no lo entiendo. ¿Ya no lo van a poner o cómo?
Okay, so
El Dwight.
I died.
Ah, mi garganta. Sí, el timeline está igual, ¿eh? Andan mal de la garganta estos tipos.
There's always something to celebrate, and this year is no different, because not only are we welcoming in Five Nights at Freddy's to the Fog, but also our anniversary event is right around the corner. So what better way to party and welcome back the anniversary event and get ourselves nice and warm by the fire than with Justin Banks?
Thank you, Dork. I'm really happy to be back with all you guys out there. It's another masquerade, another year where they dust me off, take me out of the locker, and get ready to talk to you guys about what is happening for this year's masquerade.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to hear how we're going to be partying it up in this year's anniversary event.
Yeah, so there's lots of stuff going on, and it's a special one because, as I think you saw by the title just before, after 4 years, this is going to be our final masquerade. We have lots of laughs, lots of fun. And
¿Pero por qué? ¿Por qué la última? ¿Ya no va a haber aniversarios o qué?
Since we got this party started.
Oh, Trixie de...
Event is
Esto me suena a nuevo Survey,
in about a month and run from June 25th to July.
Más bien nuevo Killer por el roadmap.
We're sad to see it go. I mean, it was a really, really fun theme that we worked on internally.
¿Pero por qué lo van a...?
We've had a gas working on it every single year. But we're going to close out with one last big hurrah before moving on to something completely brand new for our 10th anniversary next year.
Ok.
So I don't want to hype, I don't want to tease, but come back a year from now and we're going to have something really special for you.
I'm really excited to see what we come
Ah, ok. O sea, ya no va a ser mascarada, sino que va a ser otro tipo
the
de
return.
evento el siguiente año.
Is it
Tenemos DVD para el siguiente año, ¿eh?
currently got instead of adding new things to the whole shebang?
Yeah, exactly. So there's a few things that we're doing to really focus on the quality of life of the game overall. So you've seen, all of you guys out there, I don't even know which camera I'm looking at, that one. All of you guys out there, you've all seen how we're pushing for quality of life. We want to make sure that it's the game that, it's the game you guys deserve. You've stuck with us for experience and focus a lot of our resources on that final Twisted Masquerade event.
This Twisted Masquerade. So, in terms of that, then, what can players expect to see returning to the fog with this Twisted Masquerade?
So returning, well, I can just summarize by saying all the really cool stuff that we've done before. Again, it's fun to work on this stuff year after year. So what we have coming back are the invitation powers that are super fun that you can collect as survivor or killer, and you'll have different powers to use their charges for as the match goes on.
Ok, como el año pasado, las tarjetas que se activan.
Tricks that we introduced last year, which creates a random effect on the match.
Este evento lo veo muy main killer, ¿eh? Realmente.
Generators accumulated with whatever hook stages are at to really keep things dynamic, keep it moving. We're also bringing back Father Campbell's chapel, decorated, for the entire party, and it's
Ok.
still all the same decorations as last year, but we're saying the party's coming to an
It's
end over
dwindling
there.
down.
Yeah, and we'll even have a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's theming showing up in our anniversary lobby.
Okay, I love the fact that the lobby is going to be like a party in more ways than one. Plus all the returning content. I mean, what's not to love there? I cannot wait to get my hands on my invitation just to cause ruckus. So when you're talking about the quality of life, though, are the players going to be able to experience that in the gameplay with Twisted Masquerade this year?
Absolutely. So when we were looking at how quality of life applies to, let's say, the game as a whole, we're saying, well, there are some elements of events that could work better for a better player experience. So while by and large everything from the event was really well received, we know people enjoy the invitation powers, the bag of tricks, etc., there was one big friction point from last year that we wanted to fix, which was the remote hook power for the invitations. So we've tweaked that a little bit just to apply some quality of life to this event itself, to make sure that as a killer is using it, it's no longer instant. You can't just look at a hook and bam, the survivor goes there.
Okay.
Now what will happen is the survivor has to look at a hook, they'll hold a button for a period of time, and then the survivor will be teleported. And it will also be obvious that the killer is doing this so the survivors have time for their counterplay to make them drop their partner. So
Okay.
we're really hoping that creates some more friendly gameplay, some less abusive elements, and just an overall much better party for everyone to play through.
It's going to be great. I'm really excited for that, yeah.
So in addition to that, last year we pulled back the curtain on our host of the anniversary that we've shown around in quite a few assets. We showed off last year in a lot of ways. Our darling Trix. So since this is the last masquerade, her presence is going to be a little less felt, so you won't hear her or see her as often. And then she'll just be, with the masquerade, fading away into the fog, you could say.
Oh, that's really sad that we're going to see her fading away, but I understand. At least we get to enjoy her while we still have her.
Yep.
So with this being the last hurrah, what does this mean for the Twisted Masquerade rewards and outfits?
So this is probably one of my favorite parts to talk about, because when we see these concepts every year, it's amazing. These are so creative and fun to work on. So we wanted to use our final Twisted Masquerade as a way to catch up on all original characters who did not previously have a mask or outfit.
Okay.
So what you would see here is that we are adding masks for any survivors that are originals that did not.
A ver. Ya no va a aparecer Trix, que es la Sable 2.0. Ya la van a eliminar. Se va a ir a la niebla, supuestamente. ¿Quién sabe? De por sí ese personaje era muy molesto realmente. Digo, para mí era muy molesto. Porque estabas reparando y literal te avisaba que estabas ahí. Era muy, muy molesta. Y hablaba un buen la tipo. Entonces era como de, ya cállate. Pero sí. Tenemos las máscaras de Vittorio, Jig Park. No sé por qué a este tipo se tardaron un buen en ponerle al menos una máscara. Tenemos la máscara de Taurín. Home Master. ¿Quién es? ¿Quién es Home Master? ¿Es el chicloso o no? Ahora vamos a ver. Ok. La de los abuesos. Tenemos el de Sable. También me sorprende que se hayan tardado. Tenemos de Claudette. Y de la Orela, de la nueva superviviente. Y de Tauri también. Ok. Oh, las armas, Ok, las armas. A ver, espérame, déjame las ver. A ver. Ok, acá tenemos el arma del trampero, de la Hauntress, la enfermera, el doctor y la espíritu. Tan bonitos, la verdad me gustan
I cannot wait to
esas
get my hands on
armas.
that spirit one.
Yeah, oh my god, they all look so damn good.
Sí, están elegantes, los veo muy elegantes, están bonitos.
Are going to get the fully earnable outfits.
Okay.
From
Esto va a compensar la grieta fea que tuvieron. Ok, está bonita esa skin,
celebrate the party. So with that, we're catching up on all of our original characters.
Espero que sea gratuito.
Everyone is able to dress for the party for our final masquerade, which I think is really cool.
It's super cool.
Ok, como ya no va a haber mascarada, yo creo que voy a comprar las mascaradas que hay en ahí.
To the party.
Okay.
So some licensed characters who are getting outfits. Now I don't want to
Ok.
spoil anything, so stay tuned for Hollis's section after as he shows you.
Interesante. Ahí va a haber killers y personajes de licencia con esta temática.
Oh, maybe a spoiler there.
Okay.
Ok.
I know a lot of people are going to be thinking about this, myself included. I'm very curious. So, when it comes to the time-limited Twisted Masquerade collection and the items, what happens?
So, as we've done for events and event collections in the past, like this one, we have it only available during the period of the event, and then when the event happens again next year, all of the previous iterations come back.
Ah, sí va a venir el evento.
Since this
Ah,
is the
ok.
last masquerade, what we're doing is going to be a little different. We have to adapt
Okay.
because we don't want these to fade away forever. So we are tentatively planning for these to come back in the store permanently at a certain point in the future, but
Okay.
specifics exactly when that is going to be.
Okay.
So when the
entiendo.
masquerade ends, everything will disappear. And when we know when they are coming back, we are certainly going to be communicating on it. So players can be aware and they know when they can come back and get any masks they
Okay.
missed, or if they joined us later, come in and pick them up then.
That's going to be awesome, especially because like this time of year anniversary is like a huge thing for our community. So this is a huge win.
Muy bien. O sea, si vuelve, van a ponerla nuevamente en la tienda. O sea, que no se van a perder en nada. O sea, que no tengo que comprar nada.
Originals have masks or outfits to celebrate the party. But we want to make sure that all of our players have access to all of these originals too to celebrate with. So what we're doing is we're putting all of our original characters on free trial for the entire duration of the event. So if there is a
¡Ah, la bestia! ¿Todos los supervivientes?
played before, you've been interested about,
Ah,
play them in the normal queue.
ok. Vas a poder jugar con todos los killers y survis que no tengas. Vaya, eso está muy bien.
Gonna have some really sick sales going on, so get them in.
Como antes, estaba la uña postiza, si no me equivoco, de algunos killers y te daban, creo que eran rosas, no me acuerdo si eran rosas o eran
Sad to hear that it's going to be going soon, but we're going to keep it together.
uñas, no me acuerdo.
The bang.
Un addon de esos.
At least we have that.
Vaya, entonces ya no lo van a hacer así.
Next up, joining me on the couch is going to be
Estaría bien, que lo hicieran así.
so please join me in the chat with a warm welcome for Hollis, who's going to be giving us a full rundown on the latest collections that'll be rolling into the fog.
Ok, la colección de la grieta profunda, creo que
Down
sí.
on everything that's going to be coming to the Dead by Daylight in-game store, and then
Que yo quiero verlos nada más.
As always, all the masks and outfits
¿Este quién es? Chihuahuas. Espérate. ¿Quién es quién?
Yeah, so just to mention, we have some really cool exclusive event rewards. We also have some
Okay.
exclusive store rewards for Twisted Masquerade.
Okay.
This time around, we have some outfits for the Lich Vecna, who's wearing his Masquerade Lich outfit, as well
Ay, la licha come.
who is wearing his Masquerade Musician
Vayaman.
I wish I could grow a mustache like that.
it's magnificent.
Oh, it's beautiful.
¿Este quién es? ¿Quién es Vayaman?
Outfits from previous years will also be returning to the store. You'll even be able to find a few select masks in
¿Es el
bundles.
Vittorio o no? No, no es.
And for anyone who may have missed Twisted Masquerade last year, we'll also have a bundle with rewards from that. So the unknown outfit,
Okay.
player cards, and the charms. And all that will be available in the store on June 25th with the start of the event.
Okay. So
Okay.
is there going to be any like fantastic sales happening as well?
There might be. So we're going to be doing 30% off almost everything in the store for outfits released before
Okay.
Five Nights at Freddy's chapter.
Okay.
On top of that, we'll be doing 25 to 50% off almost all the characters. And as Justin mentioned, if you find a character you like during the free trials, it's a great time to pick them up and add them to your roster.
Okay.
Muy bien, está interesante.
Obviously, we kind of touched on it. Brace yourself. This is a bit emotional. But after this, the party will be over. It'll be our. I
miss it so
know.
much.
Let's keep it together.
Tricks don't leave me.
Let's keep it together. But it's gonna be okay because before we close the curtain, we've got other things happening right before, right?
That's correct. On June 17th, we have our highly anticipated Five Nights at Freddy's chapter releasing, and along with it, the Five Nights at Freddy's collection. Now, as you know,
Grande Guillermo del Toro.
Okay.
but in case you did miss PAX,
Okay.
first of all, what are you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Second of all,
Hola, bestia. Esto se filtró,
for our new killer Springtrap. This is an incredible outfit from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that features the likeness of Matthew Lillard, who played William Afton on screen before the Springlock accident that really
Okay.
turns him into Springtrap. Now, this outfit has original voiceover from Matthew Lillard that was recorded just for Dead by Daylight, as well as
Bien,
voiceover and animations in the lobby.
Okay, I cannot wait to get my hands on that. But are there going to be other versions of Springtrap coming into the fog as well?
There is. We also have a Glitch Trap, a legendary outfit for Springtrap. Now, Glitch Trap first appeared in Five Nights at Freddy's
Ok.
and its sequel, Help Wanted 2, where he played a very crucial role in the story. So it's amazing to have him as part of this collection. And as an added bonus, for both legendary outfits, when you unlock them, you'll receive a portrait badge of those characters as well. So a Glitch Trap portrait badge.
Este sí no lo ubico, ¿eh? Yo ya me quedé en la primera generación. Yo pensaba que te iban a dar a Bonnie o a Foxy.
For Springtrap, which are both taken from Five Nights at Freddy's special
De los primeros.
game, which are Clown Springtrap and Toxic Springtrap. Now,
Ok.
Clown Springtrap
Oh, ese está bonito.
straight
El
from the
Toxic.
game, looking just like fans will remember him. But we put our own twist on Toxic Springtrap to really make him our own.
Springtrap.
That's not all. For the survivors out there who want to show their love for FNAF, there will be Freddy Fazbear's t-shirts available for all original survivors. You can buy them individually or bundle together.
Qué bonito.
That's going to be great.
Ah, mira, con paquete. Ah, pues está bien.
Gives them this nice, cool, casual look. And I think because of that,
Se parecen a las que regalaron, ¿eh? Que creo que es BFF 2019, el código, ¿eh?
Simply called the Casual Collection. And as the name implies, it focuses on streetwear and casual
Pero
clothes.
aunque no he visto el chat, ¿eh? Discúlpenme.
To characters who've kind of been stuck with one look in the past. So, for example, a guy like Gabriel, who's often portrayed in space-themed outfits, we finally gave him something more
Ok, no hay
casual to show
comentarios.
a different side of his character.
looks so good.
He's a handsome man.
Se ve bien, meh.
On top of Gabriel, we also have outfits for Tori, who will be taking a break from her college.
Oh,
That looks so good.
este está bonito, ¿eh? Oh, este me gustó.
Which is Talida, who is getting some pants and escaping
Ese está muy meh.
skirt purgatory that she was in for a bit there.
Talita mentioned, yes, pants!
Thank you, Eric. We love pants.
Pants!
Chat, spam pants emotes.
Yeah.
I don't know whether those exist. And finally, we have an outfit for Hattie as well. And this collection will be hitting the store on July 2nd, right at the start of summer.
I
those
cannot
are
wait. Obviously, I'm very excited for pants.
Pants.
Pants. But with that, I mean, especially because like with the pants, I get to be nice and comfortable while I'm hanging on the hook. I mean, I'm going to be there anyway, so I might as well be comfortable, right?
It'd also be awkward if you were on the hook with no pants.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad, Hollis. But we also want the killers to be nice and comfortable as well while they're slaying and putting people on hooks, which reminds me why we're bringing up the Boulet Brothers collection, which will be joining the Fog
okay.
on July 8th. Coming in with
Ese va a llegar el
very
8.
rare for the Huntress and a legendary for the Artist.
That's right. And since the artist outfit is a legendary outfit inspired by the
Está bonita esa skin.
that one will get you an exclusive Boulet Brothers themed portrait badge.
Yes, kits.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so excited. So excited to get my hands on
Ah,
that.
caray.
Sneak preview.
Well, I mean, this
¿Qué se filtró?
about a fan favorite returning.
Yes, that is right. The Waterfront Massacre Collection is back. And for anyone out there who doesn't know what the Waterfront Massacre Collection is basically Day at the Beach gone terribly
Ah, okay.
for our characters. This time around, we have outfits for Elodie, Orella, Ace, and the Xenomorph.
Okay.
So Elodie and
El xenomorfo, what?
some sun and nice beach where we thought each of them would enjoy.
El xenomorfo, pero ¿por qué?
Ace, who is doing the same, but in a more classic.
Está fallando el... ¿Qué es ahí las predicciones?
He's rocking a leopard print smile and what seems to be a very short robe. And don't worry, to all the people out there typing in chat, I can confirm this outfit is mix and match. So you can go ahead and make those speedos a part of whatever outfit you like. If you want to put the top hat from the Alice in Wonderland collection, you can. And we're not going to stop you. That's called fashion.
Ok, lo puedes combinar. Este no es fijo, la skin. Aquí se ve muy raro.
It's inspired by
Oh.
the fish look, and we're really happy with how it turned out. It's very
Oh,
creepy,
está bonito.
cool, and honestly, would not want to run into that while swimming.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And you can
Está
expect
bonito.
Master Collection as well as Ace's Speedo to be available.
Lo malo es que no es un killer tan bueno, es muy lento.
A very distinct group of people that were playing nothing but Ace Visconti during 2v8. We're going to be wearing the hell out of that speedo.
So these collections, we have Pants Gang and No Pants Gang now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, choose your sides. But thank you so much for joining me on the couch to talk about all the latest collections that'll be coming into the Fog. I'm super excited, and it was great to have you, Hollis.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
It was so much fun. So next, I'm going to be on the couch here with Eric for all of our Dead by Daylight creators out there to talk about the Creator Program. So stay tuned.
Ok. Ok, vamos a ver el programa de creadores.
We're back. How about them pants?
Grande el efecto de sonido. ¿Eh?
The technology.
Oh, es un pallet la mesa. No, manches, necesito eso en mi vida. ¿eh?
Just a quick note, I did see people, they thirsting for whatever the Hattie cosmetic is. We just did.
Necesito ese pallet en mi vida.
Stay tuned a little longer. It's great. All right, now we're going to talk about the Creator Program. So, at PAX a few weeks ago, as we've said a couple times, we did it. We did mention there's a new Creator Program on the horizon with more details on the next stream, which is this stream. So, let's do that. It's today, so we've got more details to share. So, the current Creator Program, as you probably know, is called the Fog Whisperers. They're an amazing group of people that I've gotten to meet a bunch of now. Very thankful for that. They're awesome. They're content creators on all things Dead by Daylight, and it's while many of those relationships are going to continue for sure, it's also time that we're going to open the door to new folks. This is something we've heard a lot of. How can I get into the program? So that's what we're going to start doing. So for starters, we're actually going to retire the name Fog Whisperers. So that crew remains in the stratosphere as the Fog Whisperer Pantheon.
Uy, el panteón de susurrador.
Creator Program. Yes.
Yes, but don't worry, for anyone wondering, most Fog Whisperers are still staying on with us as pillars of our new creator group. So do not worry about that. And
Conozco a alguien que
the goal of our
es susurrador de la niebla.
even easier and better for the creators involved. We're expanding the benefits attached to working with us, and we'll be welcoming an even wider range of personalities and content focused on the game. So if you're a creator and you've always wanted to work with Dead by Daylight, now is the time to make that.
So some benefits that we're being explicit about that Dork mentioned include opportunities like access to live events, like PAX we were just at, giveaways for your communities, and new ways to engage with the game, like getting regular updates on major releases before anyone else gets those updates.
Ok, muy bien.
Access opportunities to stream and capture content, and even be featured in our content, like on streams like today. So we're going to be testing out something other than that, which is really cool because I get to work directly on it, called Support a Creator program. It's a program within a program, I suppose. But Support a Creator has become kind of a industry standard thing you might be familiar with. It's a chance for you as the community of a streamer or YouTuber or whatever, to support your favorite creator with your purchases in the game. You don't need to pay any extra, but you put in their creator code and they get a cut.
Ah, ok, con código de creador. Uy, necesito sacar esto, eh.
Pilot of that, see how it goes. If it goes well, we do hope to roll it out wider and larger. Oh yes, it wouldn't be a creator subject without Twitch shirts.
We got to talk about Twitch shirts.
Whew, Twitch shirts.
Las de YouTube para cuándo, eh.
Hot sweats. Well, that's just me anyway. Okay, so Twitch shirts. Twitch shirts has become a big thing, as you know. It was never meant to become a big thing, but also wasn't well defined. How do I get them? Why does that person get them? I don't get them. And I think those are totally fair questions. And actually, we wanted to tie it to the launch of this new creator program, so it was very clear. Here's the guidelines to get into the creator program. You get into the creator program, you get a Twitch shirt. So that's the new way of getting the Twitch shirts. The old throwing them out randomly method has been retired for now, at least. So if you get into the creator program, you will be rewarded with a lot of things, but also a Twitch shirt. So I think there's a note on that. So we're going to be granting the upcoming Twitch shirts for our next original Survivor to the creator program folks, and anyone who already has Twitch shirts, you get to hold on to the ones you have, but we won't continue to build your Twitch shirt collection. You got to get into the creator program.
Yes, so if you're interested in adding your voice to our community of creators, our new Dead by Daylight creator program website is now live, where you can go ahead and read the code of conduct and find out how you can go ahead and fill the form to apply to get yourself submitted into the program. So the link should already be pinned in chat.
Yep, and our creator
Okay.
team, which is kind of a sister team.
Ok, espérenme tantito, no he visto el chat en vivo. Bueno, y luego la veo.
Not us. They're going to be at TwitchCon EU. That's short for Europe. Just from May 3rd
Oh,
to
no.
June 1st. And
Híjole, joven, no voy a poder.
chat with them in person and get more details. Make sure that they become aware of you. What does that
Introduce
mean? What
yourself.
a weird. Thank you. English. I've just learned English. But also, a really cool thing we're doing at that TwitchCon is sponsoring the Horror Games Community Meetup. We attended it last year at TwitchCon North America. It was super dope. I got to go and meet a bunch of you cool creators. But now it's sponsored by Dead by Daylight, which is kind of fitting, so you can go and enjoy that and meet some of the team there. Okay, enough about creators. Let's answer some questions from the community. Let's do a Q&A.
Básicamente, si son de Europa o de los Unites, pueden ser
Stats tracker.
estos creadores, pero en la TAM no lo hay por el momento.
It's a live stream, folks. It's a live
I'm
stream.
going insane.
In a couple of weeks, we're going to be debuting a new feature that you guys have been asking for a long time, which is the official Dead by Daylight stats tracker. So for anyone who knows the game, a lot can happen.
No.
For trial, you can boon a totem, get hooked. You could get a pallet stun, get hooked. You know, there plenty of things happen.
Including getting hooked?
And so, yeah,
Okay.
especially. So players have always wanted to know more information about their matches, and this website is going to be the key to getting you.
Ah, ok. Ah, muy bien, es este está gote.
Neil, get ready. I should have said stats tracker and then air horn, so I'm going to try it. Stats tracker! Yep. Yes. We're in the 21st century. Stats are as far as September 1st, 2020. That's just a limitation on the data that we have. So we're going back to September 1st, 2020.
Ok.
To see your own personal journey in Dead by Daylight. A random person just walked in the room, and all your milestones over that time. The team has been the team has been looking at it, actually approaching it like a fitness app, which I think is a cool approach for killers and survivors, which I think would keep you fit, actually, if you're one of those things.
Well, I mean, survivors run all the time.
Yes.
Me gustaría hacer unboxing de esto, ¿eh?
Yeah. The Stats Tracker website is going to launch on June 17th, and you'll be able to access it either on desktop or mobile. So it's super simple to use, and all you'll need is a behavior account with at least one
Que va a ser en septiembre, por lo que veo.
linked with it. You can also
Okay.
link multiple platforms with cross progression and combine all your stats from wherever you play the game. There's
Oh,
a
interesante.
page at the start where you can see your global stats like hours played, specifically.
Como el Spotify. Ah, mira, con los Urbis.
Switch between the main stats for the killer and
Muy bien, esto me gusta mucho.
And you'll be able to see things like who your most played characters are, who your top characters are for each role. You can dive in each character and dig into details like emblems, average blood points earned.
Ok.
yeah, so we'll also be showing you super useful details like what your top perks were, both in terms of your pick rate, your kill or escape rate. You can also see which perks really drive the most success for you and the way you play the game.
Yep. And a few more things you might be wondering about. The site will be super current. So meaning your match history will update almost immediately after a match is finished in the game. So
Ah, ok. Eso está muy bien,
24 hours, meaning, well, where'd it go? Yeah. If you link a new platform, which some people may be doing, it could take up to 24 hours before you start seeing those platforms' stats in.
Ah, entiendo.
And finally,
Pero no haya falla en esto,
in
¿eh?
the future too, this is a first iteration, as with most of the things we put out. First iteration, then we build on it. It's going to focus on 1v4 matches and major seasonal events like Blood Moon, Anniversary, Halloween, and the winter event. And as of now, custom matches won't be counted in your stats, but we're going to be looking at adding limited time events like Lights Out, Chaos Shuffle, and even 2v8 in the future down the road.
I can't
Ah, ok. Ya nos dijeron qué eventos van a sacar, de hecho.
love that. And like with everything we do here at Dead by Daylight, the stats track
Otra vez el Full Caos.
Eric's
Ya, ¿no?
be building on. So there's already a ton in there that we wanted to make sure that is available for players. But if there's anything you want to see added, feel free to let us know on socials so that we can let the team know and see about updating it for the future.
So keep an eye out for more info. We're very close to that release. It's actually going to release alongside this chapter, which is scheduled for June 17th of this year, by the way. So couple weeks. So only a couple of weeks away. And as I tried to transition to before, why don't we do a Q&A?
So Q&A.
Yeah, let's jump to it. I don't know if do we have a card thing? We got 2 minutes. Okay. We're close.
2 minutos.
Okay.
Dale, ok.
Have 2 live streams in 1 month. 5 Nights at Freddy's Anniversary. We know you've got. Oh Jesus, sorry. I'm reading what was written for me. Here's the actual question. There have been complaints about cheats and hackers in the game at the moment. Is there something you can say about how you're addressing this?
The war against cheaters and hackers is a long-standing one, and that's for sure. And while it will always be there, there are definitely steps that we are taking to resolve this as much as possible. So during the upcoming months, you can expect to receive clearer game rules, a code of conduct, and regular updates on our war against cheaters, as well as strengthening our anti-cheat protocols. That's not all that we're doing, of course, but there will also be other things that we can't discuss. As we get more and closer to that, we'll be giving you more information on, and we don't want to be giving cheaters and hackers, roundabouts for our protocols.
Yeah, we can't give them that peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Cheaters are losers. Yesterday, the developer
Sí,
update went live
realmente sí.
regarding the Go Next prevention.
Si es un cheater, eres un mal. No, no es cierto.
And how will the feature prevent survivors leaving the game early?
No sabes jugar, la verdad.
So
Es
going
que usas
otherwise
ayuditas.
known as giving up on the hook early in the match. Firstly, it ruins the match for everyone involved on the survivor team and the killers, because sometimes they have things that they've got to do too. So frustration around this has been very high as of late, and with the test happening in the PTB, the chance to get off the hook early and the match will be removed unless you have perks or offerings that affect this. Deliverance and Wicked will stay the same and their activation conditions have not changed, for example. Playing for the hatch, so when 2 survivors are left and the survivor that is hooked will try to allow themselves to die faster so that the other person can get the hatch. That is still going to happen in the game as well.
All right. With the bulk
Okay.
spending option, so another awesome quality of life feature coming with this release, will we be allowed to choose what items that we can spend our BP on?
So in this iteration, you could actually choose how many levels you'll want to spend your blood points on. So you can't currently choose that very specifically.
Como en
It's
mobile,
gonna be
¿no?
done automatically, and you will receive a pop-up that shows what was purchased after it's completed, and it's going to be very quick. So we will monitor the feedback on this and see how it performs, and then we'll make some changes moving forward.
Oh, this one's for
Muy
me.
bien.
What is Eric's favorite animatronic? So people who follow me might remember I put up a picture that my son drew that I thought was Shrek. And then I put Springtrap, idiot. And then everyone speculated Springtrap was coming to the game, which at the time I had zero knowledge of. But because of that, Springtrap for sure was
Vaya.
my favorite animatronic because I lived through some stuff with that. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I think for me it would have to be Freddy Fazbear.
Oh yeah, the classic.
Gotta go with the classic.
Okay, are you going to
Exacto.
continue with the quality of life, in particular the anti-slugging fix?
We are definitely continuing with the quality of life features that we advertised earlier this year. So don't worry about that. With this PTB, we'll be focusing on the Go Next feature, bulk blood point spending, and extreme
Okay.
hiding. Then in the upcoming releases, we'll be focusing on phase 2 of the plan. So more information will be available as we head closer to that phase. But rest assured, this is still a very large focus for us. This is very important, and we want to be very careful with making sure we're addressing issues in the correct way the first time.
Final question, where is Maurice? If you're new to the game, Maurice is our beloved horse.
Sí, el caballo.
Happens to have 3 eyes and drips blood.
Yeah.
Missing from the game for a few weeks. And I think now is the time to let people know
Yeah.
Oh, vaya.
he took a vacation to Japan.
Without me?
Without you, without me, pretty selfish.
Yeah.
El Maurice.
His adventure in Japan. You got to play that new Assassin's Creed game.
Oh.
Yeah, Shadow.
Assassin's Creed. What?
That's all I'm gonna say. Go find
Okay.
out for yourself. Maurice will return soon. I hope.
Please come back.
So that's it. You've listened to.
¿Hay una colaboración rara?
I don't have a time, but I believe we're already past time, so PTB should already be rolling out. Thank you for joining us for our 5 Nights at Freddy's official stream.
A ver si mañana, digo, no sé hasta cuándo va a estar la PTV.
Yes, and from all of the requests, we know you probably are. So thank you so much for
El
sitting here with us.
29,
and
eso espero,
live PTB.
comprar ya la versión de Steam y probar la PTV con ustedes.
Coming your way this year, and the anniversary is also just around the corner, so stay tuned for good stuff to come. And creators,
Voy a estar en lives, entonces no voy a poder jugar o subir videos del DVD por el momento,
Come back to stream messages on Twitter.
pero sí puedo subir los lives.
But
Eso sí, no tengo ningún problema.
rolling out into the fog now. So you stay safe out there. Good luck in hiding and hunting.
and let's get one more air horn.
Gracias.
Right now.
Me encanta. Debo de agregar ese sonido aquí.
Oh my god.
Aquí tenemos los Twitch drops, ¿no? Ah, no. Son los, For Whispers. El Darba. Con este brother ya me había enfrentado una vez. Juega muy bien ese tipo, Realmente juega muy bien. Hace también buenos videos. Hace buen contenido de video del DVD. Digo, aunque algunas cosas son medio subjetivas. Opiniones personales, yo lo sé. Pero sí. Pues nada, chavalos. Esto ha sido todo el broadcast. Espero que les haya gustado. Yo sé que ya seguramente ya lo vieron y ya lo acabaron. Pero su servidor salió tarde. Entonces por eso apenas lo estoy subiendo. De igual manera, Recuerden ir a la sección de en directo para no perderse ninguna transmisión y también verme en vivo. Sin nada más que decir, chavalos, nos vemos en un siguiente stream. Chao.